You already know. Dappa, Dappa Lee, or Dappa Lethal. That's what it is. Representing innocent sound. So basically, I'm born in Brooklyn. I'm born in Kings County Hospital. You know what I mean? I come from a place, Avenue D East 37. But in all originality, my family come from 97 in Rutland. Back in those days, you had two. My grandmother was one of the first black women in the 90s. Back then, it was the Italians. So my grandmother, and then you got a next Miss Hilton. So it was Miss Marriott, which is my grandmother, and Miss Hilton. First two black women in the 90s back then, because it was all Italians. This is before, you know how it goes. Gentrification, Italians start moving out, the blacks start taking over. My mother's cousin, Str8, owns a sound named Mini Mart. So you got a sound named Mini Mart from Rutland on 97. The funny thing about this is I didn't know none of that. My pops was always a part of music. He always bought records. He always had two turntables. My uncle always had two turntables. They just loved the music. So my father moved me up to Canada, and he used to keep a lot of basement parties. And I'll never forget one of the dub plates that I play on Innocent. It took me about 15 years to get that song on dub plate. That dub plate was the first record my father let me put the needle on. And that is Madu, Joe Grant. That was the first record I got to put the needle on. Because you know one thing, back in those days, man, no matter what, I don't care who your father was, he was always worrying about if you're going to break that needle. Anyway, so my father kind of saw I was into it, but I don't know how serious he took me. But then we started going to record stores together. We live in Canada at this point. Because when we were in New York, I just used to hear all the Jack Ruby audios. My father was playing reel-to-reels. So I'm hearing Jack Ruby audios. Everything was Jack Ruby back then. I think my pops is from Portland. But there was nothing. Every one of his friends, everybody that used to come by the crib, all they used to talk about was the new Jack Ruby. So you see, in our era, as 90s youths, for me, it would have been IDs. But even before I knew IDs, I didn't even care who it was. I just liked to hear that. So, Selector. I didn't care who the fuck it was. It could have been Stone Love, Super D, Silver. I didn't care. I just liked the sound, and it made me feel like I was a part of something. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm DJing back in, like, let's say this. I'm living in the projects. 10 years old, there's a youth named Dashon. Dashon is a 5%er. Dashon's a 5%er, but on Saturdays, Dashon would bring his speakers out, bring out a table and bring out two turntables and start DJing. And I used to go up there all the time, and Dashon would be like, yo, what up, little nigga? I'm like, yo, I want to get on. And Dashon would let me go ahead, boom, boom, boom. I could tell you, my first time, he was like, he couldn't believe that I could mix. And I didn't believe I could mix, but I've seen what y'all was doing. Y'all was just changing the pitch until you caught it. My first mix, because this is when we was doing mixes. It wasn't play this song, play that song. I remember the first mix I did at that time, LOG and the Bulldogs. I got to have it, that instrumental. And remember a chick named Antoinette? I Got an Attitude. You remember that? Poe and Elite and Bust Steady. Man, your battle stations, I'm ready. Cole getting bigger. Idol like figure. Play me if you want and make like a trigger. And I mixed that shit on the LOG and Bulldogs rhythm. But I got stuck on the scratch part. Man, your battle stations. Man, your battle. And I just kept cutting that shit up until they was like, nigga, are you gonna let this shit play? You feel me? And from then, it was like every Saturday that Sean would bring out his set. Boom, boom, boom. Like I said, he a 5%er. There was no reggae. Now, at this point in time, I'm in Albany, New York. Mike Tyson used to come to the hood with his boy Rory. Mike Tyson used to come to the hood, give out presents and shit. To the projects. This is South Pearl Street, Albany. Now, there's this place called Northern Boulevard. Northern Boulevard now, that's the only place with a little reggae record shop. Now, I ain't buying records. I'm just going there and I'm listening to records while they playing them. People buying records and I'm just chilling in front of the record shop. You had a sound named Black Rose. That name is so familiar because it just seems like no matter where you went in the world, there was a sound named Black Rose. This sound is called Black Rose, Northern Boulevard. I'm talking about Albany, New York. This time we moved from Brooklyn, so we in Albany and Northern Boulevard. I'm a youngin' and I'm still trying to get in where I fit in. For some reason, no matter what happened, you know, I was that street dude. I was doing all types of shit, but I always felt like I didn't belong until I started meeting my little Jamaican friends. And then I started feeling like I'm a part of something because remember, before I started living with my mother, I'm living with my pops, and everything was reggae for me. Like, I remember my pops carrying me to the record store in Canada, like, pick out what you want. My first album that I picked out was Lieutenant Stitchie, Great Ambition, and the second album was Tiger, I Mean Him Tiger. That's the album with No Longer Got, Puppy Love, and all those songs. In those times, because remember, my pops is doing basement parties, so even though I'm talking about No Longer Got and Puppy Love and Stitchy, Wear Your Size and Admiral Bailey, Think Me the Done, at those same times, remember, my pops is DJing, so my pops is buying like Madonna, Holiday, Like a Virgin, fucking Billy Ocean, Caribbean Queen, and Whitney Houston. And what else? My pops was buying all these other people. I'm like, in my eyes, I'm like, these people ain't even important. Like, these songs are corny. Because I can remember, I don't know, if you're on my level, so you know, like, back in the day, like, I could tell you the song I hated the most was Solid as a Rock, bro. Because living in Queens, I'm from Brooklyn. Living in Queens, bro. I remember every minute on the radio, this song would come on, and I'm like, this shit is so corny. Solid as a rock. I hated that shit, bro. Like, that was the worst song ever to me. And, you know, the funny part about music is the shit you hated back in the day, now you love that shit. But anyways, let's scratch all that. We've been doing this for a minute, man. Started off just moving to Florida and shit. We moved to Florida, started doing mixtapes, joined a sound called Crystal, whatever. We did the Crystal thing, worked out for a time, and then it became Innocent. As far as the Innocent thing goes, it wasn't me looking for a sound, or it was more of, like, I'm a street dude. And a lot of people look at me and be like, oh, bum, bum, bum. You already know. You already know what it is, bro. They look at it, they're going to be like, oh, he a Redskin dude. He ain't from the streets. Whatever. I'm a street dude. I'm from the hood. I'm from the projects. It is what it is. We come from them days, and I remember sitting in the barber shop, chilling. Me, my nigga CJ, Rory, Mikey, we all in the barber shop chilling. And this big husky dude walks through the door, boom. Yo! I own him Dappa. Now nobody don't want to talk now. I know I don't owe nobody no money. I'm like, who the fuck is this nigga? So my barber, which is Rory, is like, yo, Dappa, who I know? And he's like, oh, nah, man, I mean, I'm telling man, me as a bad selector, I need a selector for my song. So I'm chilling. I'm like, oh, okay, I mean, I'm Dappa. You get what I'm saying? So we talking, and Taylor pulls me outside. We having a little conversation. He was like, yo, you know, I talked to Midas, and I talked to Burro. Now, Midas is the sound that Polish plays. DJ Polish plays a sound called King Midas. Midas is my virgin, and Burro is like my, what would I say? What do I call Burro? Burro is my teacher. I'm Burro's apprentice. There must have been a conversation at the studio, at the dub studio, and Taylor is looking for a selector for Innocent, and Burro is telling Taylor about me, and Midas is telling Taylor about me. So he comes to the barbershop because I guess they told him where he could find me. So boom, 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 one thing lead to another. So we're talking outside, and he's like, yo, yeah, man, I want a song, and, you know, a small song, but, you know, anything you need, we can't get that. I'm like, anything we need, we can't get that. He's like, yeah, anything we need, we can't get that. He's like, but one of my friends them dead, and we got a memorial for him tomorrow. Can you go to LA? I said, shit. If the money is right, I could go anywhere. Man said, all right, boom, we're doing a memorial dance for my brethren tomorrow. And he bought my ticket to go to LA, you feel me? So I go to LA. Now, this is where the shit get funny. We go to LA, and I'm from Florida. Florida, we bossy, we cocky as hell. We think we the best selectors. We know what we doing. I'm in LA and I'm juggling on nothing I go on. When I tell you I'm juggling on nothing I go on, I'm like, oh, these fuckers, they don't know music. In these days, there is no internet. You get what I'm saying? We're talking 97. There's no internet. There's no, oh, I heard this song on YouTube. There's none of that. So, there's no internet, none of that. So, in this era, you gotta remember, I'm from Florida. Richie D is a top selector from Florida, and he has the hottest rhythm on the street, which is the Faith rhythm. Faith rhythm is produced in Florida by Richie D. So when you get Tony Curtis, well, I guess it would be nice. And the Scare Them Crew, all that, that's Richie D production. This is running the place. And the rhythm after that, that became the top-notch rhythm, was Showtime. I'm in LA. Bro, ain't no reggae radio stations in LA. There's no YouTube. So when I'm here playing all these new tunes, These motherfuckers is standing up looking at me like, okay, play something that's gonna move us. So after about 20 minutes or so, and usually I'm quicker than that, but I've never been to a place that I felt like could have been so slow when it comes to dancehall, because I'm like, dancehall, you know, it moves through cassette, and once you got like the new Stone Love, then you know this is what's hot. You got the new Adonai is hot at this point, or whatever, so you know what's hot. That wasn't the case. So I'm like, okay, boom. So Taylor comes to me and he's like, yo, play such and such. This is a man that come from South, and most of the people that's here come from South, Kingston, he's talking about. So, you know, big up Tel Aviv, you know, most of these people, big up 81 Tower crew, you know, Miss G, the whole of them, 81 Tower, you know what I mean? You know, Gold Street. So I'm just learning this stuff. Cause now, remember, you know, I'm part of the sound business, but I've never been part of the garrison in Jamaica. So now I'm learning this. I gotta be honest. We had Innocent. We've been through. First of all, with Innocent, it was a thing where, remember, Taylor came to a barbershop and found me. He just found out where I was hanging out, and he came and got me. That's the only person he came and got. My name is Dappa. Now, I got a homeboy named Lee. Lee's a... Anyways, these same people, I get to Florida, and I'm making mixtapes as a Brooklyn nigga. Because I used to go to all the parties in New York. I used to freestyle because I rap too. Like, when you talk about crisscross, Bad Mind, oh, that's the epitome. I used to hate these niggas. Like, yo, fuck, these niggas can't rap. I thought I was the most gulliest nigga. Like, I used to rap. Get what I'm saying? So I used to go to all the block parties, drop my freestyles, house parties, drop my freestyle. You gotta remember, yo, we come from an era where we come from the crack era, bro. So we're not gonna glorify that, but we're gonna say, like, even if your parents wasn't into that, it was almost like you still lived the same lifestyle. It was normal. It was normal for me to be out in the streets until 12 o'clock at night, even if my moms didn't do crack. But the rest of the kids was out till 12 at night. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, definitely, yeah, my mom's never indulged in none of that bullshit. But at the same time, I was on some bullshit. So I used to go to all the house parties, grab the mic, drop my freestyles, do my thing. It was always music for me. It didn't matter. It didn't matter if it was reggae or hip hop. My father actually sent me a Sound Clash cassette for my birthday. My father used to send money and send, like, one thing, my father always sent me a boombox. I mean, this motherfucker bought me at least 10 boomboxes. I went so many birthdays with a new boombox, from Panasonic. I had so many boomboxes in my life, I can't say shit. My pops always made sure I had a boombox, because he knew I loved the music. And the first Clash cassette, because remember I told you, I'm a Jack Ruby nigga by birth. My father, Jack Ruby. But the first Clash cassette he ever sent me was Radigan versus Waggy T. And I'm thinking, this is dope, but it's garbage. Like, this is good, but it's whack. So just imagine saying, this is great, but it sounds like shit. You know what I mean? And then I'm going to school in Queens now. I moved to Queens with my aunt, and I live in Laurelton. And there's this dread on a bicycle that when you come out of school, he's like on the corner of Springfield Boulevard and Merritt Boulevard with his bike, and he got a case of cassettes and he's selling cassettes. Remember, we all hustling back then. No matter what you doing, you was a hustler. It don't matter. The kids were hustlers back then. And I don't even mean like selling drugs. We was fucking shovel up people's snow out their driveway. We always had money. For some reason, I can't explain it, but we had money as kids. Even when our parents didn't give us money. We always had a hustle. We would go shovel some snow out of the driveway, whatever. We did what we had to do. And my father gave me the Roddy Gun versus Waggy T, and I thought it was a garbage ass clash. But at the same time, I didn't know what a clash was. Now, check this out. I get a cassette, and it's Addies versus Saxon. Now I listen to this shit. Now this is a beast. These niggas got the accent, cause you gotta remember, Waggy T versus Roddy Gun. There's no Jamaican on the audio. You gotta think about this. Waggy T and Roddy Gun, there's not one motherfucker with even a Jamaican accent. Right? Not saying whatever, because remember, I still don't know what a sound clash is. This is still my first sound clash, but I'm like, this shit's kind of corny. It was dope, but it was corny. Because I like Major Mackerel, but the Major Mackerel Customs was like, okay, this ain't the Major Mackerel I know. Because you got to remember now, my pops is sending me this audio in 91. The Major Mackerel that I like is from 88, 89. Rashid and Bankan, Rashid Champion. Not the same thing. When you hear motherfuckers are stupid. Boom, boom, boom. So I'm like, this shit is garbage. Now I'm buying my own Clash audios. I get Addy and Saxon from this dread that's just chilling on the corner selling cassettes. Then next week, I buy, what was it? Super D versus Fort 4 or some shit like that. Anyways, man, I started getting into this Clash shit. And let me tell you something. Fast forward to all of that, I play a sound called Crystal. Fast forward past Crystal, because that just happened just by me being a good mixer. It had nothing to do with if I was a great selector. It was just like, yo, this young nigga mixing like that? Okay, you need to bring him by the house. My homeboy his father owned the Sound Crystal. So, he's like, yo, that's a nigga your age mixing like this? Okay, bring him by the house. Bro, when I tell you this, I just moved from New York. I did not mix nothing on that cassette. You know what I learned to do? I learned to edit cassettes. I used a fucking mix from a radio station and was blending the two mixes together. So there's Richie D. There's a next sound called Outlaw Top End, which is the same Outlaw, Derek Outlaw, but the one from Florida was called Outlaw Top. There was a radio station for Clint O'Neill that where on a Thursday night, they had a guest sound, and that guest sound plays for the whole night. I took a bunch of audios and compilated them, but I mixed them into each other. So they thought it was really me mixing, but at the end of the day, I didn't know how to mix. So when they brought me to the house and was like, mix this, I still could do it because I already knew how to mix. You get what I'm saying? So now, okay, I'm like the youngest youth around a song that can mix. Fast forward past that, when I left Crystal Innocent. Now, as I said, I'm Dappa. How'd I get the name Dappa? I'm going to tell you right now. We was in the mall. I'm still new to Florida. My cousin lived in Florida for a minute. We go to Florida and it was like, yo, we ran a competition. Who could get the most phone numbers? I got the most phone numbers. My cousin them, back then, I was wearing Guess jeans and shit. And they were saying only girls wear Guess jeans. Because remember, they in Florida. We from New York. I'm wearing Tommy jeans. I'm wearing Nautica jeans. They don't even know nothing about Nautica. Right? I'm wearing Nautica, Tommy, and I'm wearing Guess jeans. They said only women wear Guess jeans. So when I'm wearing the Guess jeans, they trying to style me. But now we go in the mall and we run a competition who can get the most numbers. I get the most numbers. So my cousin was like, Bambaka Yari Dappa. And that's how the name, Dappa. Honestly, like, you call us the top of the food chain, but at the end of the day, here's the thing. We're in a business where niggas got the game fucked up. And when I say that niggas got the game fucked up, it's true. I can honestly say, and I'm going to say this loud and proud, if it wasn't for Mello, a lot of people wouldn't look on Innocent as a certain sound. But there's a lot of people that knew Innocent could do whatever Innocent did. And I can honestly say, when Innocent killed Addies, it wasn't Innocent's best performance. So just for the fact that we came out on top, that shit should let you know this was a sound to be reckoned with, because this wasn't even our best night. This was nowhere near our best night. Like, I did have it rough because my computer fucked up and all that. But I give ratings to Mello for that. But Mello's a dude that used to come to me out of the blue. Like, I used to play these 45 clashes in Atlanta, and Mello used to come to me and be like, Dappa, yo, dog, Maria, boom, 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 boom. And I used to take Mello for a joke. You get what I'm saying? But this is how the world runs. Because the same way I took Mello for a joke, everybody else took me for a joke. And then I saw Mello keep the biggest clash I've ever seen in Atlanta for the longest time, bro. And then I happened to be a part of that clash the following year. So understand this, man. It's like we look at this business and we say all we want, because a lot of people don't really fully understand this business and how much it takes.
System, and we play the music.
And that's the problem that's fucking up the business right now. You can't find people to do that. Bro, you know what's funny? One of they looking for an MC and a selector. But fuck them niggas.
But I say, yo, if you're a sound owner, you better drop your selector. Put the blood that thing up. I ain't gonna get no selector.
Yo, nah. Listen, we gon'. You know what happened? I was going deep. I forgot what the question was because I was going so deep. Because I went back to Albany, nigga. Like, Albany, nigga? Like, for real? Like, I wasn't supposed to go there. Albany. I wasn't supposed to go there, but that's where I started hustling rock and shit. But
where was that? That's in between Corning and Mooresville.
Nigga, Cass, when I said fucking Mike and Rory used to bring presents to the hood, nigga. Mike Tyson and his boy Rory.
Yeah.
I ain't bullshitting, nigga. I'm dead serious. So, basically, let me say something though. Big up to TLIDF. This is a man that came to me just off a hearsay. In hearsay, me had the body Selector of Florida. He comes to a barber shop to find me, and then I'm playing this sound by myself, and I'm like, and you gotta understand, reason why I say big up Taylor ideas, because there was never ever a situation where it was like, nah, that not gonna work. Anything Dappa said after we became acquaintances, anything Dappa said goes. He didn't even give a fuck. It was like, yo, Dappa said that you would are good for the so-and-so. All right, that you would are good for I remember I said, listen, I remember being in a dance. We had a juggling dance with a dude that used to MC for me that I got off the sound. I was like, no, I don't want him. And me looking in a corner and seeing Nasheen. Me and Nasheen was supposed to play Super Gold. Because I also was in charge of Super Gold. But I was like, you know what? It's a fresh song. Boom, boom, boom. Nobody don't know it. We're going to start from scratch. Let's do it. I go to Nasheen in the corner like, yo, boom, boom, boom. Nasheen says, yo, I already let you know, man. That ain't my thing. I ain't worried about no sound shit. I'm about getting this money. Player. I'm about getting this money too, but Nasheen let it know. I ain't worried about no sound shit. I'm trying to get this money. I said, all right, get your money, my nigga. I'm just only asking you to MC for me for the night. Nasheen comes, MCs for me for the night. The night is over. Taylor comes to me and, yo, Dappa! I want him on my clot that you there, man. Him bad no pussy clot. I'm like, oh, that's the dude I've been telling you about. And he's like, listen, me and Nasheen never played sound together. I don't even know Nasheen, you know. I've seen him, and he's seen me. They was trying to get me and Nasheen to play Crystal together, because they know Nasheen and they know me, and they like, yo, them two young youth together will boom, boom, boom. But Crystal, something happened with me and Crystal that it could never mesh again. It was like, that was it. Like, what happened between me and Crystal just, it ended everything. Like, you know what I mean? It crushed me as a man, because it was like something was stolen from Crystal, and I was the person that was blamed. And I've never stole anything. Like, I don't, one thing with me, I don't steal. There's nothing about me. I don't like nothing named thief, bro. I believe, because I come from a place where people steal. So me not stealing, I believe that makes me stand out as, yo, this nigga real. Get what I'm saying? Like, me being not that nigga that would ever take something from you, you're going to be like, yo, my most memorable clash would be Innocent versus Tech Life. That's Tech Life from Queens. And the reason why is because Patrick Ewan, who is the MC for Waggy T, was the MC for Tech Life. I only knew Patrick Ewan. Nobody knew Innocent. I knew I had Innocent. Like, it was like, you talking shit, but I know I have my secret weapon. Innocent's my secret weapon. Nobody knows Innocent in Florida. Because remember, Innocent is not from Florida. I brought Innocent to Florida. Patrick Ewan keep talking shit. I'm like, oh, we can do this. So that was the first dance I ever kept personally as a promoter, period. I have the flyer. You want to see it? I got it on my phone too. Innocent versus Tech Life. Tech Life from Queens. Where Mud Spider, I think they said, used to play Mud Spider. One youth named like, yo, listen to me, man. So anyways, we did this dance, and I kept the dance, and they didn't even let Patrick Ewing play. But whoever this guy, his name was Lion. The guy's name was Lion. And let me tell you this. I came in that bitch thinking I was going after Patrick Ewing. You see this dude named Lion? No joke. This motherfucker was the real deal. Tech Life ain't have no tune like that, bro. But this dude, let me tell you something. My name is Dappa. My friend name is Lee. You understand? My name is Dappa. My friend name is Lee. Lee now not talk for that youth. It came to a point where in dancehall, nobody didn't even recognize Lee. So they used, even Elephant Man, yo, Dappa Lee. It's Dappa and Lee, but nobody didn't even know Lee. That's how I got the name Dappa Lee. Everybody think I'm Dappa Lee, and it's Dappa and Lee. It's not Dappa Lee. But because my family is Lee Chin, my grandmother, Lee Chin, my father, Lee, whatever. So it just fitted at the time, but bruh, let me tell you something, man. That blood clot, when that sound when them Tech Life had a MC named Lion, and I tell you this was 1997, and you know if a nigga make a speech and you still remember that speech, it did damage. That motherfucker say, yo, tonight me come here for play a song where claim say them name innocent. But you see when me done with them name no sense. Yo, they play shit. And I'ma tell you this, bro. The only people in that bitch was everybody from my high school. Cause this is my event. Everybody in that bitch is from my high school. And when I say that place bust up me like one blood, yeah, I don't know what to say, but I'm like, nigga, you impressive. There was nothing I could do, and they ain't had no tune, and they was kicking the shit out of us to where I said, Lee. No disrespect. Just give me a minute. Let me deal with these niggas, and I'm gonna bring you back in. And I started dealing with them on my own, off of me being a cassette clash nigga. Me and my friends clashing with cassettes. But I have this knowledge that I just know how to deal with people. And when I did that, bro, the whole game changed, and I was like, oh shit. Boom, boom, boom. Lee couldn't even come back. Taylor was like, Bumba Clyde, there you with your body. I was like, yo, because a lot of people don't understand, man. I'm a selector, and I never wanted to be more than a selector. So when you see me MCing, that's not by choice, bro. I only want to be a selector. I like to play music, and I know how to defend my shit. But the MC part, even though it ain't me, to me, it's still natural. I could counteract anything you say. I could make you look small. You could be the baddest MC, and I'll make you look small. So this is what happened, and it's like, well, here's what happened. I'm very, I'm not gonna say I'm cocky or, there's nothing about me that says, oh, Dappa thinks he's everything. I let my word speak for itself. And if you was to ask Mello and Fam first, they came to me, they gave me an opportunity to clash against Hadis, and I even gave them a price that they couldn't work with. But that price comes from, okay, I'm clashing Hadis. This the price. Even they said, with the whole COVID thing and this and that, we can't see where innocent is affordable. So I went back to my team and I'm like, you know, boom, boom, boom. They have a point, but they got a point, but I don't think they got a point. Like, Eddie's no more than me. But anyways, we all came together and we decided, you know what? I said, that's mellow. I said, I can't tell you much about this motherfucker, but I can tell you, he always come to me and say, Dappa, I rate you. And I think that speaks a lot about people, because it's hard nowadays for people to give you your ratings and not feel like they're stepping out of their way to tell you that. Like, the business is very corny right now. So basically, we came up to this Addie's an innocent thing, but at the end of the day, when it comes to innocent, it's just about music. It's not about who has more music or who has the better songs, because your songs might be the better songs for that night. Doesn't matter. I've learned that a selector is bigger than any song. A selector can be bigger than any song. A selector can be bigger than any MC. A selector can be the greatest thing on the planet of Earth, granted the chance. And when I could take a look into myself and say, you know what? I don't have the most tunes, but I grew up listening to King Addies. And I don't see these dudes that's playing King Addies did not grow up listening to King Addies. So they don't understand Addies the way I do. So there's nothing they could do to instill fear in my heart. You know what? Let's take this dance. And going from there, I think a lot of people had their opinions. Oh, Addies are going to brush innocent. Addies are going to this and that. But I knew I had to do everything to make people feel like you fucked up by thinking that. And this is what I've done. So, innocent is a sound that we come from nothing. We come from nothing to something. That's what innocent is. I don't know how to explain innocent, because we come from nothing to something.